I bet many of you have mixed feelings upon your college graduation, happiness and anxiety, right? You are happy because now you are finally done with all of your studies, no more homework, group projects, and final exam. But at the same time, you are facing anxiety about finding employment after your graduation. In today's market, with an unstable economy, it seems that going to college or having a college degree might not be enough to guarantee you a gainful employment. Remember, tough times will never last, but tough people do. Whether you are looking for your very first job, changing your careers, or re-enter the job market after an extended option, you must understand two main tasks, which are understanding yourself and understanding the job market. Understanding yourself and understanding the job market are not easy things to do. They take time and require a lot of patience. In today's discussion, I would like to use hiking as an example to help you understand more about yourself and about the hidden job market. If you ever go hiking, you know that there are many different ways to hike up to the top of the mountain. As a college student, you are seen as a beginning hiker. You stand at the bottom of the mountain and think how high that mountain is and try to imagine how some people even make it up there or get very close to the top. If you only stand on the bottom at the bottom of the mountain and think, how can that person get up there? Or wonder, do I have enough energy to get up there? You will never get anywhere, or it will take you a long time to get to where you want to be. The shortest way to get to where you want to go and become who you want to be is to start your hike and reach out to those who already reached the top of the mountain. Remember, the people who reach the top of the mountain were in your shoe before. They understand exactly the feelings and the emotion that you have now. Successful people, especially those who already reached level 5 in Maslow hierarchy, when they work hard, succeed, and walk through the doorway of opportunity, these people do not shut the door behind them. They reach back and want to give other people the same chance to help others succeed. So, use the information interview as an opportunity to ask these successful people which path did they take to get to where they are today. What were the biggest challenges that they faced when they took that path, and so on.
What is the information interview?
Information interviews are not job interviews. Rather, they are informal but professional conversation where the goal is to gather facts, advice, and opinions from someone with expertise and experience in a specific field. Remember, an information interview is not a job interview. The first rule of the information interview is do not ask for a job.
Why should I go to the trouble of performing an information interview?
It does not matter who you know. What only matters is who know you. Everything you learn as well as the people you meet in an information interview is extremely important and valuable. The personal contacts you make and the information you learn will help you better determine which path you will need to take in order to hike to the top of the mountain. When I say before, hike to the top of the mountain, I mean how you will reach to the top of your career. Professional contacts and information about career choices will help you in this hike. So, think about this. If you decide to travel to a place that you've never been there before, do you just pack up all of your belongings and go there? Or do you ask around for more information before you leave? If you have all the time in the world, then it's fine to get there and figure out what you want to do or need to do later. But if you have very little time or your time is limited, you must plan your trip well before you leave the house. 3 years ago, my husband and I decided to travel to Japan. We had never been to Japan before, and we were so busy with work prior to our trip that we did not do any planning. So when we arrived in Japan and checked into the hotel, the receptionist said, "You guys were supposed to be here last night." We looked at him in surprise and said, "What?" He repeated, "You guys were supposed to be here last night." I rolled my eyes, looked at him and said, "How were we supposed to be here last night if we just got off the plane less than 2 hours ago?" He showed us the reservation that we booked online and informed us that Japan is 1 day ahead of the United States. So we had to pay for a night in a hotel and were not even in the country yet. After settling down, we headed out for sightseeing. We had a hard time as everything was written in Japanese and not many people spoke English to help us get around the city. As a result, for not planning well, we spent extra money on the hotel, for not being aware of the time difference between the country. We also missed many opportunities to sightsee as we were unable to read direction or ask for the local resident about popular places. We learned our lesson from this trip. And a year after, we decided to travel to Singapore. This time, we planned very well. We talked to people who had traveled to Singapore to learn where the best restaurant and what to see there. As a result, we were planning to spend 4 days to cover Singapore. It took us only 2 days to capture everything. My trip is just an example to help you see the value of an information interview. In real life, we are constantly facing many situations that are similar to an information interview, but we do not realize it. If my husband and I do our homework before our trip, we will know exactly what to do, where to go, who to see, and most important, we will save a lot of time and money.
How should I prepare for an information interview?
First, you need to have a plan. Whether you are months or years away from graduation or planning on graduating soon, it's important to have a plan. When you start out your career planning, here are a few questions you will have to consider in order to help you identify which direction you need to go to pursue your career. First, what kind of business industries do you want to work for? Second, what kind of career do you want to have? And last but not least, where do you want to live? When you know the type of business you want to work for, what jobs you would like to have, and where you would like to live, you can then start searching for company and career that would meet your expectations.
Can you give us some tips that will help with the information interview?
I will give you 5 tips that will help you with your information interview. First, 5 people to conduct your information interview. Second, how to request an information interview. Third, behaviors, asking questions before and during the information interview. 4, do your homework. 5, thank you letter and follow up. Tip number 1, 5 people to conduct your information interview. Your goal is to find people who work in the industries, businesses, or organizations that interest you. The easiest way to begin in this process is to start with someone you already know, such as your friends, families, relatives, neighbor, or even your professor. I went through this step years ago by calling people from the yellow pages in the phone book. Tip number 2, how to request an information interview. After you have identified someone you want to talk to, contact that person to request a brief interview. You can email them or call them. So either in an email or on the phone, a good strategy at this point is to state your name, first name and last name. Then give them a brief summary about yourself and explain to them the reason why you are contacting them. I'm going to use myself as an example so you can see how the call works. So you dial the number, you pick up the phone and say, "Hello, my name is Sun Lee Hill. I am a senior accounting student at the University of Oregon. I'm doing some career research in the field of public accounting and wonder if I can schedule to come and meet with you for 20 to 30 minutes for an information interview." When I did mine, I wrote the script down on paper to make sure I covered everything. You never know what will come out of your mouth when you get nervous. I'm not kidding. So don't set too high of an expectation that everyone you call or email will say yes to your request. You might consider yourself lucky if you get one yes out of 10 phone call or email. Keep in mind, there are 3 results of your contacting this person. Result number 1, they say yes to you. Life is easy. Result number 2, they turn down your request and have no interest in an interview. If this happens, do not get upset or feel negative. Just respect their boundary. However, don't forget to thank them. Result number 3, this happens a lot. The person informs you that they are quite busy and do not have time to meet with you at this current time. If this happens, thank them and ask them when would be a good time for you to call them back. When I called around for my information interview, one of my contacts said, "I'm very busy this day and don't have time to meet with you at all." I responded to him, "I understand. Can I call you back in a few months?" He said, "Yes, that will be better." I asked if the first week of the following month would work for him. And he said, "It's best to call me back after the tax season is over." So I called him back in April and he said, "I'm still very busy. We are reorganizing our company infrastructure and I have a lot of work to do." I thanked him again and wished him a good day. I waited for 2 more months, then called him back once more. This time, after reminding him about who I am and the reason why I'm calling him, he was happy to meet with me. At the end of that information interview, he offered me a job working for his CPA firm. Later, he told me he offered me a job not because of my GPA or my background experience, as I have very little experience and I was still in school at that time. He offered me a job because of my persistence. He said he never met anyone as persistent as me. Remember, life is fighting for territory. When you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will take over. Tip number 3, behavior before and during the information interview. First, be flexible. Work around your contact's busy schedule. For example, if your contact says, "I can meet you on Thursday at 7:30 in the morning," just simply respond, "This is great. Thank you. I will see you on Thursday at 7:30. Believe me, this seems very easy to do, but not many are able to do it. I ran into a few college students who called me to request for an information interview, and when I suggested a time to them, their response was, "Oh, 7:30 is too early for me. How about 2 o'clock? Or I have class on Thursday. How about Friday?" As much as I want to help and support, when situations like this happen, the caller had lost my interest. Remember, you are asking professional people for a favor. Therefore, you should have your schedule laid out in front of you and ready to share with your contact. This shows you are serious and committed. Tip number 4, remember to do your homework. Research the company and the person that you are going to interview. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. Ask questions about their accomplishments. Show them that you are aware of their career, accomplishments, and their education. A lot of information can be found from the company website, LinkedIn, and even Google. So for example, you might want to say, I understand that you graduated from University of Oregon with an MBA degree just 4 years ago, and you are already a vice president at the bank. That's very impressive. Can you please share with me the typical path from entry level to a VP position in the banking environment, and what people do to move fast within that process? This kind of question shows your knowledgeable base and seriousness. Also, in addition, to learn more about the skills, experience, and salary, you might ask questions like this. What educational and experience preparation would you recommend for someone who wants to advance in this field? Or what would be a reasonable salary range to expect if I enter in this field? What is the long-term potential? So ask for additional name of people or professional organization they would recommend as an additional contacts in this area of business. Is it polite to ask if you can use them as a referral? You can say something like, "Who else would you recommend I speak with? When I call, may I use your name?" What professional organization should I be aware of? Is there anything else you think I need to know? Before you leave, be sure to ask for the person's business card so you have an accurate name, title, and address information. After the interview, send a thank you note. Do this within 24 to 40 hours of meeting them. You should show your appreciation by sending an email or a brief handwritten note to thank the person for taking the time out of their busy day to meet with you. I prefer a handwritten note, as this shows a more personal connection between you and your interviewers. The information interview is one of the most valuable tools that you can use throughout your career life. It's not only important when you are thinking about obtaining a new job after your graduation, but you can use this tool whenever you want to learn more about a certain career move or any other subject that you want to increase in your professional knowledge about. The information interview is a great way to help you learn more about a specific company, a specific job, or any other subject that you want to explore. The information interview is a highly focused information gathering session with a network contact designed to help you choose and refine your career path by giving you the insider point of view.
What are the benefits of the information interview?
I can think of at least 7 benefits of doing an information interview. First, gives you insightful information about a field you are interested in. Second, introduce you to other careers that you may not have previously considered. Third, allows evaluation of whether the career is compatible with your skill, interests, lifestyle, and goals. 4. You will receive specific suggestions on how and where to acquire the experience and knowledge that is required for the field. 5th, develops confidence in interview with professionals by discussing your interests and goals. 6th, gives you the opportunity to share information about yourself to a possible future employer in a professional manner. And 7, gain access to the hidden job market. A survey showed that 80% of job offers are made through this hidden job market. My job with the CPA firm is one of the examples. Earlier, I used the example of hiking to demonstrate the information interview technique for you. Remember, when you choose a path, you don't have to stay on that path forever. If you interview 100 people and you choose 10 paths that interest you, then keep those 10 paths in your mind when you do your hiking. Each path has its own unique pattern, and not every path is better than others. All roads take you to Rome. If you start out with one path and recognize that the path is not working well for you, then continue your hike with another path. The most important thing is to continue and not give up. As long as you continue hiking up, you will make it to the top sooner or later. Good luck with your hike, and I hope you make it to the top soon.